Got one.
Hello everybody, Rox here. Thank you again for tuning into my channel. Hope you're having an excellent day. I know I am. I just want to apologize in advance. I got out here to film on my field and I realized that I am camouflaged as the walls behind me, so apologies again if you lose track of me. You know how it is sometimes. Today I have something super cool for you. I have a gun that I've been excited about for a very long time, ever since I got my MCX, and that is the Sig Sauer MPX, the MCX's little brother. I mean, it was invented first actually, so maybe it's like an older brother, but who knows, who cares. All I know is that it's finally here and I've had my hands on it, and it's pretty cool. A little bit of history on this thing. I know that there were some people who were doom and gloom saying, no, we're never gonna get it, it's never gonna happen. I always had my hopes up though, and sure enough, it's finally here. It's similar to the MCX, in which it was invented, sorry, not invented, it was made by VFC for Sig Sauer's Airsoft division called Sig Air. And it features many of the same things that the MCX does. You have a very similar build design. It's finished the exact same way. The grip is the exact same. The upper feels very good. The handguard feels very good. Everything stock was quite nice. It's got the exact same controls. If you're used to AR style controls, it's going to be that. It's got the same kind of click that the MCX does. All in all, I like it, and compared to the other one, if you're used to that one, you're going to be used to this one. It just comes in a much smaller package with different magazines and whatnot. One of the things that I wasn't too happy with though was that the default stock was your telescoping stock. Now this one, as you can see, I've taken my PDW style stock from my MCX and I put it on here, and I took my telescoping stock and I put it on my MCX. Why they decided to switch it around and kind of do the one thing, I don't really know. And all I know is that if you want to get this stock on this gun, you have to own an MCX, you have to find someone who's willing to sell it. Sig doesn't sell them individually, so it's kind of a bummer. A positive though is the magazines. One thing that I said on my old MCX video was that the magazine that came with the gun didn't work. You had to use a different gun to work. However, these ones, Sig has actually decided to release something that functions out of the box. Clicks right in, it's super satisfying, it shoots really good. It feeds every single round from these magazines, you'll have no problem. I quite like them. The one downside though is that Sig did not release these magazines off the bat. I had to wait a good long while to get them, and they didn't even come out in Canada until just the other day. I had to purchase them from the States, and they're expensive. They were around $30 a pop, which is not good. 50 Canadian if you buy them here. So if you can get them from the States, I encourage you to do that. However, as I said already, they feed nice, they work nice, everything is good. Charging handle, nice and responsive, clicks back. It does not spring back, however, though. I don't know if that's just something up with mine, but I find I have to push it back, and it will stay open. Here you have your VFC rotary style hop-up. Much better than your standard original Airsoft hop-up, like the ones with the styles on the side. I'm glad that more and more companies are switching to this. It hops everything fairly nicely. I had no issues hopping threes right off the bat. But I was using 2/8 for an event that I went to, and zero issues there. One thing to note that is a little bit of a bummer, the MCX had the ability to swap between real steel handguards. The way that the MPX is designed, unfortunately, is that it's just a little wider to account for the gearbox, so the handguards are proprietary. Now, you can take your real steel handguards and you can adjust them to fit, but it is a permanent adjustment that will not work on your real MPX anymore. Another kind of big issue is that the battery space, as you can see here, is quite atrocious. It has no way of retaining a battery once you put it in, and it only takes small batteries. When you put the battery in place, you need to tape it or put some sort of plug or do something to hold it in place, because otherwise it will just fall right out of the front. I don't know why they did that. I think that's a very poor design, but I guess if you're trying to keep in the looks of how the real one looks, then you got to make some concessions somewhere. However, it's definitely something to account for. And yeah, I'm not a big fan. I've gone through a lot of electrical tape just holding everything in place. However, I do know that there is some companies that are coming out with aftermarket plugs for it to maybe alleviate your issues there a little bit. The other thing is to consider putting an HPA system in this. That's what I'm gonna do because my MCX is HPA'd and I want to make this an equivalent. However, most of my guns are AGs. I don't have a lot of HPA guns, but that's just something that I am planning on doing, and I will not have to worry about the battery space in that case. On a very positive note, the flash hider, as you can see here, it is not orange. I was able to get it off without having to resort to a lathe or any sort of heavy machinery like the MCX. It came right off, no issues, and I was able to put on whatever attachments I wanted. Right now I'm running this little tracer unit for CQB. Like the MCX, you have your quick swap stock system. I mentioned stuff about the stocks earlier, but underneath this is a Picatinny mount, and in that Picatinny mount is the ability to have a quick change spring. So if you want to go down to CQB spring quality, you can do that, make it a little easier, a little better. I like to run it in here because we have a very small field and don't want to hurt people, so I have it down to around 330 FPS. Now, before I filmed this review, I've had this gun for, I'd say, about a month now. But I took it out to a rather large milsim event called Crossfire 2 here in British Columbia, Canada, and I ran this thing stock as is. I didn't change any of the parts inside. As I said, I was going to HPA some stuff, but like I took this gun out of the box, bought some magazines, and I took it to a milsim. At the milsim, I was running more of a squad leader role, so I wanted something small and light. I didn't want to bring my HPA gun or any of my like big heavy guns that I've used before. I wanted something small because I'm constantly adjusting stuff on my radio, talking to people, having to put the gun down, sling it, write notes, check maps, do all this stuff. So I wanted something small, but I wanted something quality, and I really didn't have that many issues with it. The gun ran good. We were issued 2/8s at the event, and it shot them no problem. As I said before, it runs a good hop-up unit. The one thing to note though is that it does suffer from what some stock AEGs do. If you spam it too quickly on semi, it'll lock up and you'll have to put it into full auto to unfix it. If you're like me and you have a couple higher quality guns and you shoot them like crazy, you'll definitely notice that will come up. I know other people have said that they haven't seen that. It could be specific to this particular gun, but it's only happened a few times, and it's something that can be dealt with as you work on the gun over time, or if something breaks and you replace components. Not a big deal. All in all, the SIG MPX is a very nice gun. It has the typical high quality VFC externals, but it does fall short on the internals just a little bit in terms of things like, the overspinning and minor stuff like that. There's definitely guns out there that have better internals right off the bat, but this one will serve you well. Who is this gun for? If you like SIG's other offerings, like other VFC offerings, you'll like this gun. If you're a fan of the MCX, you're gonna like the MPX. Would I say you get this for your first gun? Probably not. The magazines are prohibitively expensive, hard to find. And yeah, you'd probably be better off getting a different SMG. The Scorpion Evos are around the same price and they're great. There's a lot of really good MP5 offerings. However, It does feature just a straight version 2 gearbox. You can upgrade this thing when something breaks. As I said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And although the mags are expensive, they fit well, they feed extremely well. The gun is tiny in a little compact package. It could be the good CQB gun you're looking for. Like if you're looking for something neat, like for doing like just CQB, like, you know, Speedsoft or something like that, you could easily make this thing cool and unique and do whatever you want. You know, if you're into milsim, police forces use this thing, it'll fit right into any sort of like SWAT kind of kit that you're looking for. And yeah, it's great. I love it. I think you should get it if you fill the criteria, but if it's your first gun, probably not. So again, thank you for tuning in. This was Rox. If you like what I do, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all the usual stuff, and I will see you out there. Have a great day.